Hope everyone is doing well. Mars, Venus, opposition. Mars is now at 5 degrees of Leo. Now Venus is at 6 degrees of Aquarius. And Mercury is at 7 degrees of Sag. And Venus will ingress later on today to the 7 degrees, so it's gonna make a perfect sextile with Mercury. And Moon is in Taurus. Earlier on, when Venus and Mars opposed with each other, Moon was creating a T-square. Moon in Taurus speaking with Aquarius and Leo axis. A lot of very strong density, yet like we can feel something is really profoundly shifting right now. Solar flares, all the magnetic electric field stuff, right? Schumann resonance and everything. Whether we can see it physically through our eyes or not, changes are here. And then this card just showed up, 5 of Wands. And then sometimes those energies, even the signs and synchronicities, or even confusion, those kind of new energies are coming into our awareness from multidimensional reality, from the seen reality, unseen reality, everywhere, right? So we want to really discern what kind of information that we are taking in. Choose to practice the art of ignoring. Choose to ignore what does not feel comfortable for us. Then ignore and focus on what we can feel. We can feel grateful for, whatever that gives us spark of joy and excitement. That is the energy that we need to focus, right? Because whatever we focus, it only expands. And the Queen of Swords showing up does remind us to sit and meditate. I talk about meditation as something that, we don't need to sit. For me, spiritual practice, to me, just my humble opinion, spiritual practice is something that do not require the sense of I need to, or I should, or I have to. All the shoulds and needs and all those kind of things are the rules that we give to ourselves. That's the rules created by our human brain and human mind. And sometimes if we don't follow those rules, we feel bad, right? Spiritual practice is the practice that we can do to return, to take us return back to the fullness of our spirit, wholeness of our spirit, to the bliss of our spirit, to the ever eternal playful nature of our spirit. So if sitting in meditation gives you a spark, do it, right? And the meditation does not necessarily have to be you just sit quiet and sit and be empty and think nothing. No, to me, meditation is where I sit to return back home, where I feel home, this cosmic realm. Every morning, whenever I see the sun rising, I let that light of the sun to beam into my third eye center, and I chant the mantra, I am that sun, I am that sun. Thank you. Deep gratitude for the light of the sun, for the source of all life, and being grateful and sending all the gratitude to that power of the sun. But I also sync my existence with the energy of the sun, and then I clearly state and claim that identity, that I am that sun, I am that sky, I am that nature, I am that whole entire universe, and the God, the creator, I am that. We are that which we claim. Meditation is the time that we can pull ourselves away from this logical thinking mind, always like rumbling and spinning around with all the confusions and all the regrets and all the frustrations and anxiety. Meditation is the practice where we unplug ourselves from that humanness and plug us into something bigger and greater. That's how I take my meditation is. Meditation. So make sure when I say meditation, right? Queen of Sword is the card of meditation. It is the card that reminds us to be receptive. It is the card that reminds us to expand our awareness, to go beyond and above the clouds of confusions and immerse into the clarity of the sky, right? Immerse into the spaciousness of the sky, right? She holds onto the sword of truth, and she chooses to cut through the illusions and delusions, and she chooses to stay in her radiance. That's right, the practice of meditation. The meditation kind of a theme is important right now. I also see the Justice card, this adjustment card. This is the card, the Libra ruled card, right? The balance between yin and yang. Yes, that theme is very strong with the Mars-Venus opposition happening. We're moving to the full moon. Full moon happens when the sun and moon are opposing from each other. Every time those planets are opposing from each other, there is a theme of balance. Choosing not to have our inner scale of balance going off and all over the place because we are balancing out the needs of others, right? We can sacrifice our own needs to serve others' needs, or give and not receiving. Or it's very important to value the energy, give and take, right? Because everything is energy. Sometimes we can get trapped in the little scarcity mindset or lack mentality. But if we meditate and tap into the eternally infinite space which hold infinite possibilities, we can never be lack of anything, right? All of us holds the full potential to be very abundant, and that energetics has to happen in the mind, right? We have to claim we are as abundant as the whole entire universe. Lack mentality came from some kind of a conditioning and the patterns of the mind that I used to believe I was lacking all those things, I was missing all those things. Maybe this is the time that we are reprogramming and upgrading our own mind and our own selves, because those negative things that we tell ourselves are not based on truth. No, those are the mindset, those are the old beliefs that we are needing to delete it, because those old beliefs are not aligning with who we truly are. Timeline is shifting everywhere on this planet Earth. Everywhere in this universe, something is shifting, something big is coming. 9 of Wands is reminding us of our strength. We've been injured, we've been going through all the craziness. We've been victims of many circumstances and this and that, and we've gone through big heartbreaks and all the craziness in life. To a certain degree, everybody has gone through that, right? Now is the time. We are choosing to drop certain energetic density and heaviness, whatever density that is weighing us down. We gotta catch that, right? First, in order for us to release it, we have to be aware of it first. We have to catch it, and we have to choose to release it again and again. Those mental patterns come in very stubborn way. It's not easy to change those mental patterns, I know that. But meditation really is one big tool that we can use to shift, because whatever practice, right, we need to distract the mind, we need to disrupt the patterns, and we need to distrust certain conditions and beliefs and ideas that our mind holds, and we gotta dump them because they are weighing us down and not keeping our balance of scale of balance off scaled, right? One side of the scale we put our spirit, we put our true divine spirit self on, right? Another one, this is the human self, and usually the human self is so heavy to the point we are not really finding the wholeness and the unity between the human self and the spirit self. But this is the time we need to bring our awareness to that union, the whole union of the impeccable spirit self, the eternal self. The spirit will go on even after the decay of this human body. You know that. We all know that. I mean, if you believe in that, some people may think that after the death you become nothing, but within this quantum field of existence there is no such a thing as nothing. Energy just changes forms, right? We will continue to exist in some kind of a way within this existence of the eternal universe. And the back of the deck is the judgment, death, rebirth, transformation. It's the essence of fire, elemental fire, that rules this card of justice. This is the card that, people in writer's deck, people rise from the coffins that's floating in the ocean, that represents our psyche, our true divinity, or some kind of spirit consciousness, the cosmic consciousness waking up from that dormant space of the coffin. And then it's the energy of rising and uprising and awakening. We are all moving through that right now. Of course, not everybody. Different people have different, people live on a different time zone and timelines, and people are on different paths. Not everybody are here to follow the path of spiritual awakening or this or that, but I know everybody who listens to me are kind of in the same frequency. That's why I do believe that you're listening to me, or you have found me because we're on a similar frequency vibration. So this is the card that reminds us to be aware of this it's really the true alchemy and metamorphosis and all the transformation. But that, it's like transformation, not becoming somebody completely new, but we're just kind of returning back to celebrate the birth of the true divinity or true essence. Like we are like, I'm remembering who I am now. I am remembering I am not here just to, we are being more aware of the matrix and how this world is really working, and more of us are starting to question how the society and how this system has created certain trajectories and conditions that makes us suffer in a way, right? And then the more and more of us are choosing to come out of that coffin, and we are like, fuck that shit. No, I am here to live free. I am here to do the things that we love doing, and then I am here to expand my joy and bliss and love and my creativity, self-expression. I am here to be me and do me, and I will thrive. That's the spirit that we are tapping into now, right? So whenever that inner conflict or the strife, because a lot of opposing energies are here with us, even moving toward this Gemini full moon, right? The sun in Sag, 23 degrees, 23, 24 degrees of Sagittarius will oppose moon at that degrees. And the moon in Gemini is with Jupiter, and this full moon will square Neptune. This is a time to dream, right? Neptune's lower archetype, yes, confusion, yes, deceptiveness, illusion, addiction, all of that. We can keep ourselves trapped in our own addiction to our old selves. We can come up all the excuses of why we cannot change because of that past trauma, because of I'm like this, I am like that. Everything is an excuse. We know that. When we come down to it, yes, there are people, it's not people, let's not talk about other people. It's all about us, right? So, but higher archetype of Neptune under this full moon is really, really trusting and believing and knowing who we are, using our power to crack the system, crack our own system within the mind. No, that's the hardest system that we are here to break. And that upgrading up, so we can tap in to be creative and to be the visionary and to see the visions of the greater new future. Neptune, Neptune is the energy of mysticism and magic and all that. Neptune reminds us the possibilities are infinite because we are eternal in essence. Under that full moon, Venus and Mars will still be opposed with each other. So may we use those opposing forces, maybe use those internal conflicts, the battles, the tension, and use that force as the fire that fuel us to transform. We are here to raise and rise from our own ashes so we can burn up whatever that is not serving us. It's not outside, it's more internal, right? Sometimes we battle with okay, I have to let go of this thing, or I have to do this or that, trying to change something outside. But how can we change the resistance that we hold against this situation or this person? Then there is already an alchemical mutation happening within us. We can be like, ta-da, oh well, there is discomfort, there is misunderstanding, I don't like this situation, but you know what, I choose to let go of resistance because things will change in the perfect timing no matter what. Whether I hold resistance or not, my life continues, and I choose not to hold resistance but be the ball of joy and bliss and just enjoy life. Yes, let us keep that spirit with us as we move through those days leading up to the Gemini full moon. That's happening on the 15th on Sunday, and even within 8 hours or so, Mercury will go direct on the same day of the full moon. So there is a lot of mental shifts happening. I take it as glitches in the matrix are happening now. So use that to create something new rather than using that to choose not to feel overwhelmed or extra confused under this energy. No, choose it to change, right? Create, make radical changes by choosing to react and respond differently to everything that happens in life, to every single thought that pop up in our head, right? We can radically drop, and disengage with the mind and choose to change the patterns within, because that can hold quite tremendous powers coming into this full moon and weeks after. Yes, thank you so much for listening. Peace.